वसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. I welcome everyone who are in the temple as well as who are online. The Durga temple today on 2nd March, Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. My apologies, today I am late and because of some various personal reasons, but we'll try to see that we are completing in time. So we are studying Shrimad Bhagavad Gita and we have repeatedly understood why we are studying it. It's not because we want to earn punya. पुण्य कमाना है इसलिए गीता सुने, स्वर्ग में जाना है इसलिए गीता सुने, अच्छे अच्छे संस्कार जीवन में लाना है इसके लिए गीता सुने. अच्छे संस्कार लाएंगे तो पुण्य भी कमाएंगे और स्वर्ग में भी जाएंगे. So we are on the 3rd chapter, कर्म योग. क्या करना चाहिए? What should we do in our life when we are born? We are born with responsibilities and skills. We are born with a nature. We are born with natural instincts, and we are also born with the sensual, the animal instincts. So how we should be behaving in our life, what kind of work we should be doing, and what way the work should be doing. The important part is what kind of work, which is defined by the varna, what way is defined by the word which we are studying now, which is yagya. How we are supposed to be doing our work. We should do it as a yagya. And we were thinking about the yagya while discussing the 10th sloka of the 3rd chapter. So I'll chant the sloka first just to recollect, and then we'll go further on the sloka. सहयज्ञा प्रजा सृष्टा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यत्वम् एष वोस्त्विष्टकामधुक्. सह यज्ञः प्रजा सृष्टा. सृष्टा created. सृष्टा created. सह यज्ञः प्रजा. प्रजा means people. Brahma created the people along with the yagya. Along with yagya. That means yagya is something additional than what we see in the world. That is how the yagya is. And Pura Uvacha, Uvacha said, Puro before Prajapati, the creator, Brahma, the creator of the universe. Anena prasavishyadam, prasavishyadam, increase your prosperity. Increase your prosperity based on by doing the yagya. That is what the God told. So, what is yagya? And that is what we were discussing. And we discussed about now various parts of yagya, the 3 parts: Dev Puja, Sangati Karan, and Maitri Karan. The prayer of the gods, the deities, Sangati Karan, getting connected, and Maitri Karan, getting into relationship, friendship. That is what the yagya is. Now, there are so many questions which came to me, and I think that we should understand that, because in our mind, the yagya at present, what is yagya? So, as we talked last time, yagya means what? बहुत बड़ा सा fire करते हैं. There is a fire pit. Then there are people sitting around it, chanting various slokas. And then we have prasad. We have got so many things which is put into the fire, and people are wearing nice dresses, and there is a great food and celebration. That is in our mind the yagya is what it seems, and it is true also. It must be there in a yagya. So it is true that it should be celebrated like that, but the psychology behind it is extremely important. If we do not understand that, then doing a yagya will not be a correct or a complete thing. It will be merely a what is called as a karma kand. It will be merely a procedure. But the understanding of the yagya should be there in the mind of everybody who is participating in the yajna. So that is what we are going to go today. So last time we saw that selfless action together with others, doing a selfless action together with others is yajna. And definition of karma yoga, we saw selfless prescribed duty. So what is our karma? Is selfless prescribed duty, and doing the selfless prescribed duty with others is a yajna. So prescribed duty is defined by the varna, our natural instinct, our natural way, how we are born with the previous qualities from the previous births. That is our prescribed duty. And doing that prescribed duty selflessly is karma. And connecting that selfless prescribed duty with others and the eternal God is yajna. That is how the yoga is, that is how the karma yoga word has been identified. So there are so many questions which came to my mind. One is that in the Puranas we see that devils and demons also did yajna. अगर यज्ञ बहुत पवित्र चीज है, भगवान की चीज है, तो हम लोगों ने देखा, we have seen Bali Raja was also doing yajna. Bali was also doing yajna. So that means what? A yajna, dev puja. What is a dev? What is dev? How a yajna and dev is connected? What is the definition of dev? What is the difference between dev and Bhagwan? All these questions will be answered in this discussion. So number one is, in our mind, the yajna is a pious thing. Yajna means it's a very pious thing. It is for the God and all that. Not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. In the Gita, it will come for further chapters, the types of yajnas. Yajna ke prakar kya hai. But in the meantime, for now, we will understand yajna means, if we want to understand yajna in present day context, yajna is nothing but a scientific experiment, a scientific procedure. Yajna is nothing but a scientific procedure. That procedure can be done for the good and betterment of the society, as well as it can be done for the bad and selfish reasons also. Otherwise, there will be a question in mind. When I was a young boy, I always had a question in mind that if Bali is doing a good yajna, Bali is doing yajna, then why should God come and stop his yajnas? Why should God push him into the Patala Loka, the universe below the ground, below the earth level? Why should God do that? If he is doing a yajna, he should be a good man. He is a pious man. He is giving gifts to the Brahmins. He is doing lot of chanting. Then still why Bali was pushed down and even God had to take avatar. भगवान को अवतार लेना पड़ा बलि को दबाने के लिए, वामन अवतार. Why? That means yajna is beyond. Yajna is not only a pious. Yajna is not only done by the good people. Yajna is done by bad people also. Ravan was doing yajna. That means we have to understand what is yajna. If the psychology behind the yajna is not understood, then the physiology of the yajna is common. It seems exactly the same. No change. It seems same. रावण भी आहुति डालता था और राम ने भी यज्ञ किया, राम भी आहुति डालते थे. Both were putting the resources in the fire. ऋषि भी यज्ञ करते थे. So what is the difference? How the yajna can be defined? Devils are doing tapa and yajna. So this is another part. What is the difference between tapa and yajna? So we'll go one by one on each of these and we'll try to understand what is the difference. Number one is tapa is mainly for individuals. If I have to achieve something, if I have to get gold medal in University of Toronto, then I will work hard, I will study hard, and I will do my best effort to get that certificate. That is tapa. I will not go for the games. I will not go for the movies. I will not spend any of my time which I like to do, but I will focus continuously in my study and I will pass my exam. That is tapa. It is for self. Now tapa can be for others also. But mainly the tapa is done for the self, and that is where the answer comes for the devils. That is another question. There are so many questions connected to this one word, yagya, and we'll try to see one by one. So tapa is mainly done for the self, either for the self purification or getting some self achievement. That is tapa. तप वो होता है जो खुद के लिए या अच्छा या बुरा, both things. Devils did the tapa, मुझे बूंद दे दो, मैं मरूंगा नहीं. So that I can start, killing the people, I can start making difficulty for the people life. That can be also tapa. When I was a young boy, I had so many questions in my mind. अगर शंकर भगवान को पता है कि ये आदमी खराब है, if the God knows that this person is bad, then why they are giving him the boon? पता है कि बाणासुर खराब आदमी है, तो उसको क्यों वरदान देना, कितना भी तप कर लो. पता है रावण खराब है, बहुत सारे असुर का नाम है इन पुराण. we get so many devils name. They did tapa and God came and God gave them boons. How can God give a boon to a wrong person? In our personal life also, if there is a bad guy, do we support him? Do we help him? We don't. So why did the God couldn't think about it? God should have also thought about it. This guy is a bad guy, don't give him anything. एक गुंडे के हाथ में पिस्तौल नहीं देना चाहिए, वो सबको मारेगा ही. You should not give power and resources to a bad person. So the God couldn't think about it. भगवान को क्या इतना भी समझ में नहीं आता है कि ये आदमी खराब है, ये राक्षस है, तो उसको वरदान नहीं देना चाहिए? क्यों वरदान देते हैं भगवान? फिर हल्ला गुल्ला, भगवान आपने इसको वरदान दिया, अभी परेशानी हो गई है, देवलोक में, मनुष्य लोक में बहुत परेशान कर रहा है, अभी क्या करें? फिर भगवान अवतार लेते हैं. इतना हल्ला गुल्ला ही क्यों? वरदान ही मत दो. वरदान दिया जब भी तो परेशानी हो गई, वरदान ही मत दो. भगवान क्यों वरदान देते हैं? वरदान देना पड़ता है. If there is a hard work done, it must be given reward. कर्म का फल देना ही पड़ता है. चाहे गलत आदमी हो, फिर भी उसको उसका फल देना ही पड़ता है. Even though there is a bad person, you know that he is a bad person, still God had to give that person a boon. This is showing the karma yoga, the prabal karma yoga, which has been lost, which has been forgotten by most of the Sanatan Dharma followers today. This is the example, the yagya, the word is example is from there. कर्म करोगे फल मिलना ही है. भगवान को भी नाक नीचे करके कर्म का फल देना पड़ेगा. God has to give you the fal of the karma. How you use it is your psychology. That is making you devil or a good person. रावण के पास भी उसको भी तप का फल मिला. या रावण had got 10 heads, he cannot be killed. रावण got excellent economic system. श्रीलंका में, लंका में सबके घर के ऊपर गोल्डन रूफ थे. ऐसा इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम बनाया. रावण gave the tune to the Vedas. वेदों को उसने राग दिया. That means he was a very, very intellectual person. So, being an intellectual, being resourceful, being powerful doesn't mean anything actually for the society. Yagya is focused on the society. How we are doing and behaving and giving back and together to the society is defined by the word yagya. That is why the word yagya is important. That is where in the word yagya the answer comes why the God had to give the boon to even wrong people. Why they have? What is it? Where they are not understanding that this person once get the power will become a very dangerous person for himself, for the society and for the whole universe. But God had to give it. Karma yoga. That is why karma is karma pradhanta. In Hindi, I think it is much better explained in Hindi than in English due to maybe my limitation of English language. but I don't find an equivalent word for those things. कर्म प्रधानता, जिंदगी में कर्म प्रधानता होनी चाहिए. हाँ, कर्म प्रधानता. नसीब में होगा तो होगा, भगवान चाहेंगे तो होगा, ये नहीं होता. भगवान वही चाहेंगे जो आप कर्म करेंगे. कर्म की प्रधानता ये सिखाती है. कर्मयोग 3रा अध्याय पूरा का पूरा यही. So yagya does not mean it is only for the pious purposes, for the good for the people. It can be for bad also. So remember, yagya is a procedure. Yagya is a scientific procedure. It's an experiment, and out of that experiment, many things come out. Forget about the very old Purana. Think about the present or a recent history, a little past history. What happened? We know Kaurava and Pandava. We know the history. What happened? Drupad, it's a little long history, but we will understand what happens with the Yagya. So, Drupad and Drona were both students in the same Gurukul, and they were very good friends. So, Drupad was the son of a king, whereas Drona was son of a Brahmin. Naturally, Drupad was very powerful. He was wearing a lot of money, and he was going to be a king. So during the Gurukul time, he told Drona that okay, when I become a king, I will give you my half kingdom because you are my best friend. But as usual, as we see even today also, after the schools are done, after university is done, who is a friend? Do you remember your friends? Do you remember who were your friends in grade 2, 3, 4, 5? No, they are gone. So similarly, when Drupad became a king and Drona was very poor guy, he goes to Drupad and says, Drupad, you remember I was your friend. We were friends together, and now I am in trouble. Please give me some help, some money, because I don't have any money. And Drupad says, as usual, even today also we see. So we think that, oh, this is a past history. No, not necessary. This is even today's history also. Today also it happens, and today also those problems are there. There is no difference because humans are same. So what happened? Drupad told, it's a dialogue. अरे क्या dialogue है? हाँ, क्या राजा भी कभी कोई भिखारी का दोस्त हो सकता है? Can a king become a friendship? Can make a friendship or can be a friend of a poor person? Answer is no. हाँ. अच्छा, उसने द्रुपद ने बोला, अभी भी you go to Bill Gates and tell him I want to be your friend. Will he say yes? You go to a big politician here. I don't want to name them. You go to a big politician and go to him and tell him I want to be your friend. You my friend. How can a powerless person become friend to a powerful person? It's the same thing. So Drupad told the same thing, and Drona was very much unhappy. So the story is very long, but so eventually Drona became a guru of Pandava and Kaurav. And when the whole study was done, what was Guru Dakshina? What at that time, that is the only war where Pandava and Kaurav fought together with the other people. So Guru Dakshina kya denge aapko? What Guru Dakshina I will give you? We will give you, sir. So Drona told the Irsha, वायर वृत्ति इतना भरा हुआ द्रोण के दिमाग में. Yes, such a big, revenge, the feeling of revenge is there in the mind of Drona. So what he is asking, Guru Dakshina में वो बहुत अच्छा मांग सकता था, मगर नहीं मांगा. What did he ask? He asked that I want to defeat Drupad. So this guy said, okay, now naturally the Kuru Vansh was very strong compared to the Drupad. Definitely, Drupad had nobody there. So they defeated Drupad, and Arjun was the leading person to defeat Drupad because he was the best archer. So Arjun defeated Drupad, and then he brings the Drupad to the feet of Dronacharya and says, here is a slave you want. You should read the dialogue. Even in English also it's not bad. We remember the dialogues from the movies. Why not remember the dialogues from our ancient scripture also? Here is the slave you want, sir. आपका गुलाम हम लेके आए हैं आपके पैर के पास गुरु दक्षिणा दिए के लिए. ऐसा. And imagine Imagine again the rage and the revenge in the mind of Drupad when he's defeated and he's slaved. And Drona is telling, अभी तुम मुझे आधा राज्य नहीं देते थे, मैंने तुम्हारा पूरा ले लिया है. I have taken your whole kingdom now. You were not even giving me half kingdom. Forget about it. You are not even helping me. You are not even helping me with the littlest money and telling me as a friend. अभी मैंने तुम्हारा राज्य पूरा ले लिया. I have taken the whole kingdom. I am the owner of the kingdom. So I am giving you half kingdom. Who are you to give me? I am giving you half kingdom. ऐसे द्रुपद को आधा राज्य दे देता है. And the rage in the mind of Drupad. He is a king. क्षत्रिय है. He is क्षत्रिय. Warrior community. अपमान कैसे सहन करेगा? A true Kshatriya will not be able to take any insulting. So he is going back home with half of his kingdom, with the rage, unhappiness in mind. And then he knows he can't fight Dronacharya anymore because it's a problem. He is very strong now. He has got half of the kingdom. He has got all these disciples like Arjun, Duryodhan. All of them fought together with Drupad. So Drupad cannot defeat Dronacharya, but he wants to defeat him. He wants to kill him. What did he do? Yagya. That is where the Yagya comes. See, Yagya can be done anywhere. That is why we are trying to understand it. Yagya is a scientific procedure. Yagya is a scientific experiment. It has got no connection other than what is the psychology behind doing it. So Drupad does a Yagya. उसने यज्ञ किया किसके लिए? I want to kill and defeat Dronacharya. That is what he did Yagya for. And we know the story already. वो यज्ञ में से एक लड़का पैदा हुआ और एक लड़की पैदा हुई. Yeah, one boy and one girl were born from there. And the Yagya Dev, now Devta, we are going to talk about it. Devata. What is Devata? What is the difference between Devta and Bhagwan? So the Yagya Dev told these two will be the cause of death and going down of Dronacharya and anybody who helps Dronacharya to defeat. So the boy was named as Drushtadrumna, who actually killed Dronacharya in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And who was the girl? Draupadi. So we think that the strength is only in the power, like जिसके पास gun है, जिसके पास muscles है, जिसके पास पैसा है. No, strength is also in the beauty. Draupadi, extremely beautiful girl. Naturally, the beautiful girl is the cause of fight among the Kaurav and Pandav. That is what happened. That is why one of the name of Draupadi is Yagya Sena. Yagya में से पैदा हुई सेना. The complete battlefield, the complete army is only that one girl, Yagya Sena. That is the name of Draupadi, Yagya Sena. यज्ञ में से पैदा हुई सेना. कौन सी सेना? ब्यूटी की सेना. ब्यूटी की सेना. हम लोगों ने इतिहास में भी देखा है. We have seen in the history, for one girl, millions of people were killed. Just for one girl. That is Sena. That is the whole battalion, or not even battalion, the whole infantry, or more than that. That is what is Sena. Yagya Sena. So Yagya, we don't want to deviate. We have to remember that we have to be where we are. But to understand, Yagya means what? Yagya doesn't mean sirf Bhagwan ki puja. Yagya doesn't. What is the psychology behind doing that action? The Karmakand is defining the Yagya. So कोई करता है ऐसे हमारे सामने, उसका जरूरत नहीं है. Not necessary that it is only for that. We have to remember the reason behind it. That is what Yagya to be defined. To understand the word Yagya. Otherwise people will come and say, oh, we are doing Yagya. What is Yagya? Important part is the psychology behind the Yagya. Now it is psychology in multiple ways. Psychology in terms of people who are in it and psychology of individual people in it. There are two levels. मंदिर आते हैं, कोई आता है भगवान का दर्शन करने के लिए. मंदिर में चोर भी आते हैं जूते चुराने के लिए. So everybody going to the temple, not necessarily हाँ, भगवान का भक्त ऐसा जरूरी नहीं. हाँ, बिजनेस चलेगा, फला फला आदमी बिजनेसमैन है, वन guy is a good businessman and he goes to temple. I want to get socially involved with him. I will also go to the temple. So that is to be remembered. What is the psychology? And Yagya is defining the psychology part of it and not only the karmakand part of it. I'll repeat, karmakand is important. Karmakand is necessary. Karmakand is required, and that also we will come when we will discuss about the Murti Puja. Your Karmakand is necessary, absolutely necessary. We must do it. हर रोज सुबह पूजा करनी ही चाहिए. Every day morning we must do the prayer. But the psychology behind it is very important. So we will go further on this. This sloka has got lots of words. Ishtaka Maduka, Eshavos, Ishtaka Maduka, Ishtaka Maduka. Ishta word is coming now again in the next one also. Very, very important. Ishta. Ishta means which is good for me. Not necessarily I like it. Sometimes the things are there which I like, but it is not good for me. Smoking. Suppose I have got a habit of smoking. I like to smoke. Suppose I don't smoke. Just giving an example. Suppose somebody likes to smoke, but the doctor says that no, you should not be smoking. It's not good for health. So what is Ishta for me? Not to smoke. Shreya and Priya. That is a word going to come in the next sloka. So Ishta means something which is good. And good is together. Suppose not smoking is good for me, it is also good for my family because I will not fall sick and we will be having a healthy life together. Somebody will say that my father died at the age of 42. Why? Because of the cancer in the mouth. Why? He was a smoker. Okay, now he died and all the family members are in trouble. So Ishta means it is not only for self, but it is for others also together who are around you. That is Ishtaka Maduka. So Yagya should be done with the psychology where the people who are involved together have a Ishta. Ishta. Very important part. Ishta. Ishta, Kama, Dukha. It's a three word combined together. Ishta, Kama, Dukha. Ishta, Kama and Dukha. All the wishes, but wishes, which wishes? Which are good for self and others. Yeah, otherwise a smoker will say that my wish is that I will be able to smoke more and more cigarette. But it is not Ishta for other people, so it should not be satisfied. That is what it is. And we are going to talk about that point also here. It's very, very important part. So last time also we talked about the anxiety, fear and unhappy society. So when people are not working as a Yagya, the society will be anxiety, fear and unhappy. Even if the person is billionaire or even if a person is the lowest part of the society, the lowest economic part of the society. दोनों दुखी होंगे, पैसे वाला और गरीब. पैसे वाले को चिंता होगी कोई मेरा ले नहीं लेगा और गरीब को ये चिंता होगी कल मेरा खाने का क्या होगा. Both are equally unhappy and equal anxiety. That will be the condition. That will be the condition when there is a work being done in the world without Yagya. Togetherness nahi hai. Togetherness. So even if we are achieving the things through Yagya, but if it is not the psychology of togetherness, then the whole society does not get help. That is the meaning. The psychology behind doing the Yagya is important. And we talked about it. What is human nature? Human nature doesn't like help. Human nature likes serve. Imagine, take another example. Now the spring is going to come. So many people are going to make the deck, in their bungalow, their houses, they make wooden deck. So now there are two methods or three methods to do the deck. One method is you get a contractor, you pay him and you get the deck done. When we are paying him, what we are thinking? I am the owner, I am the customer. Customer is the king. So I am the owner and he is my servant. I am giving him money, so he must do it for me. He must do it for me. Psychology is owner and servant. The worst psychology before was owner and slave. हाँ, slave है वो मेरा, वो एकदम नीचे निम्न कक्षा का. हाँ, slave is not paid, at least servant is paid. So that is how much we have improved. Somebody say how much we have improved in last so many years, like 10,000, 30,000 years. We have come from slave to servant. That is the improvement in the whole 30,000 years of history of human being. From slave to servant. That also sometimes servants are behaved like slaves. So that's another part. Yeah. And then second way, how we can do is that we can bring our friends. Friend ने आके मदद की. हाँ. He has a saw, so he bring his saw and he is helping me. Another guy has got a, the driver, the screwdriver, so he brought it and then we make the deck together. हाँ. And now we are sitting on the deck and all three of us are together and enjoying. What is the difference in the feeling? What will be the difference in feeling? When a contractor has made the deck and three friends together made the deck. That's the difference when we do the yagya with the right psychology. Yagya is together. Yagya is putting our skills together. We'll take the example. So many examples. I brought it. I don't know whether we will be running late, already running late and lack of time, but we will see that. How to do that. So that construction can be either done by the friends, together with the friends, or alone. Alone is a tap. खुद करो, तप करो, ये करो, वो करो, सब पूरा खुद ही करो सब. Only you are the person to do it. Tapa. Then you are so tired, you feel lonely, you are exhausted. So at the end of the deck which is made, you are exhausted, you are tired, you feel lonely. That is what happens in the life also. When you work alone, you are tired, loneliness. One of the biggest problem in North America today is loneliness. Biggest issue is loneliness. किसी भी वृद्ध को जाके पूछ लो, किसी भी सीनियर को जाके पूछ लो, what is the biggest problem you face in life as of today? हाँ, घुटने दुखते हैं, ये है, वो है, बॉडी पेन है, ओके यार, जातक से ध्रुव मृत्यु. One day you are going to die, so your body has to weaken. It is part of life. But what is biggest problem? Loneliness. Loneliness is the biggest problem. हाँ, जिसके पीछे पूरी जिंदगी निकाल दी, वो आज देखते नहीं है मेरे सामने. Loneliness. So when you make the deck alone, you find loneliness. Deck is nothing but representation of the whole life, how you make your life. Friends, happiness. Yagya, psychology. Give your skills selflessly. That is yagya. Eshavos tishta ishta kama dukha. Ishta kama dukha. Very all wishes, kama. All the wishes will be satisfied which are ishta, which is good for you. By what? Sahayagyaha. By doing the yagya. That is the definition of yagya. See, God is not telling us, even in common sense also, somebody will not say, you pray me, हाँ, आप मेरे पूजा करो, मुझे हाथ जोड़ो. Imagine, okay, we'll go to the next sloka because it is more explained over there. But how and why a very efficient person, a very capable person, a very powerful person will ask for favor from a very non-capable person? Why will God ask? मेरे पास पैसा है, अब भगवान के पास क्या नहीं है, सब कुछ है, पैसा है, हाँ, ओमनी प्रेजेंट, ओमनी वेलेंट, अरे वो तो बहुत ही ज्यादा है, मगर समझने के लिए उसके पास पैसा है, शक्ति है, सुंदरता है, वैभव है, कीर्ति है, लोग मानते हैं, तो फिर उसको भगवान क्यों बोलेंगे कि तुम मुझे पैर पड़ो, हमको जो मरने वाले हैं? Why a mortal body has to be told कि तुम मेरे को पैर पड़ो? Why God will say that? Is there any logic? So when the sloka is telling, saha yagya praja sushta anena prasavityadam, so इसका मतलब क्या ये हुआ कि भगवान ने बोला कि मेरी पूजा करो? वो पूजा है उसके अंदर, ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं है. But how much? Maybe 2%. And why the God is there also we have talked multiple times. Why God is put in the yagya? Why God is put in the pradakshina? Why God is at the center? Why God is required? It's not that God needs us. We need God to develop ourselves. सेल्फलेस काम करो, किसके लिए करो? भगवान रहेंगे बीच में तो सेल्फलेस काम करने की आदत पड़ेगी. आज का ही एग्जांपल, अभी जस्ट नाउ हमारी जो बहनें हैं ये बना रही है, अभी है है ना, अच्छे अच्छे श्रृंगार कर रही है, हाँ, सेल्फलेस है ना, साथ में मिलके कर रही है, सेल्फलेसली कर रही है, तो आनंद ही आनंद है. अभी का जस्ट नाउ एग्जाम्पल, दैट इज यज्ञ. साथ में मिलके करते हैं, और उसके लिए भगवान चाहिए. भगवान की मूर्ति नहीं रहेगी तो साथ में मिलके कहां सेल्फलेसली काम करेंगे बताइए. हाउ विल दे डू सेल्फलेस वर्क? है ही नहीं सामने को सेल्फलेस काम करने के लिए. सो गॉड इज रिक्वायर्ड even in a very lowest materialistic, physical, physiological, touchable experience. Forget about the whole psychological and metaphysical, and we will not even go there. It will public हो जाती है. But you know what? At least now we can see, because there is a God, people die together. Because people get together, they are doing selfless work. इतना simple. नॉट टू गो इन वेरी वेरी, हाँ, बड़े बड़े पुराण पढ़ने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, इतनी हमारे सामने ही है. ओनली थिंग वी रियलाइज इट दैट व्हाट वी डिड, हम क्या किए हैं, हम क्या कर रहे हैं. यज्ञ है ये, दैट इज यज्ञ, दैट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ यज्ञ. एनीवे, सो अच्छा, कोई बोलते हैं यज्ञ उसका मतलब यू शुड गिव समथिंग. नो, इवन वाइल टेकिंग ऑल्सो यू आर डूइंग यज्ञ. हाँ, खाली देना ही नहीं है, लेना भी यज्ञ है. अच्छा, वो कैसे, यू नो हाउ दैट इज दैट. इन ओल्ड टाइम सन्यासीज एंड ब्रह्मचारीज यूज्ड टू गो एवरी हाउस, राइट. भगवती भिक्षांदेही, भगवती भिक्षांदेही, हाँ, भिक्षा मांगते थे. रिमेंबर, इट इज भिक्षा, इट इज नॉट भीख. इट इज नॉट ए बेगर हु इज आस्किंग. It is a brahmachari or sannyasi who is asking for the alm, A-L-M, alm. They were asking for the bhiksha. They were not asking for the bhik. भीख नहीं. You know, sometimes it is very important. सत्यनारायण की कथा करते हैं, हाँ, सत्यनारायण की कथा करते हैं. पहला अध्याय, प्रथमो अध्याय, सत्यनारायण कथा. What do you say? एक बहुत ही गरीब बेचारा ब्राह्मण था, घर घर जाके भीख मांगता था. ऐसे बोलते हैं, कल कभी गलती से नहीं बोलना चाहिए. वो भिक्षा मांगता था, भीख नहीं मांगता था. व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस बिटवीन भिक्षा एंड भीख? भिक्षा इज ए यज्ञ. व्हाट वाज ही डूइंग? व्हाट वाज ही डूइंग? व्हाट वाज द होल गुरुकुल सिस्टम वाज डन. व्हेन द पर्सन गोज, एवरी हाउस दे विल गो एंड दे विल नो. इसलिए तो वही गांव में जाते थे हमेशा. दे विल नो ये फैमिली को क्या क्या चाहिए, कितनी भिक्षा लेनी चाहिए, हाउ मच मनी टू बी आस्क्ड, हाउ मच रिसोर्सेज टू बी आस्क्ड. He is feeding his family, he is feeding his kids. You should not ask more from a गृहस्थी. So इसके लिए आया, हाँ, वो अच्छा हाथ वाला, हाथ में जितना आएगा उतना ही लो. Do not load the society more. But when there is a capable person, you load more. हाँ, the शिष्य, वर्तंतु का शिष्य, हाँ, when he goes Kautsa was the disciple, the Shishya of Vartantu. When they need money for Gurukul, he is going to Raja Raghu and he is asking millions of gold coins. Why? Because Raghu is capable. But you don't ask for that much from a person who is not capable. उतना ही मांगना चाहिए. और वो मांग के क्या करते थे? भिक्षा मांग के क्या करते थे? गुरुकुल चलाते थे. Free education, free food for the younger kids to learn. गुरुकुल, दैट इज यज्ञ. गुरुकुल चलाते थे. भीख मांग के भी यज्ञ हो सकता है. भिक्षा मांग के, भीख नहीं, भिक्षा मांग के भी यज्ञ हो सकता है. सो इट इज नॉट ओनली गिविंग, इवन बाई टेकिंग ऑल्सो. इफ यू गिव इन रिटर्न, दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ यज्ञ. इट्स नॉट ओनली गिविंग, इट्स नॉट ओनली टेकिंग. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. The person who was doing भिक्षा was not gathering. हाँ, इकट्ठा नहीं करना. आज का आज, करपात्री, that is the word in Hindi or Sanskrit. Karapatri, kara means hand, patri means the hand made as a vessel. So with two hands like this is a vessel. Whatever is fed into it, that's the only amount you are supposed to be eating. That is karapatri. हाँ, just as a joke, nowadays it is buffet. हाँ, बड़ा सा पात्र, हाँ, हाथ में वाला नहीं, बड़ा, हाँ, और मन में आएगा वो खाओ. हाँ, आपको हाथ में जो मिलेगा वो नहीं, मन में आएगा वो खाओ. दैट इज करपात्री. There is, what is the difference? Karpatri, Bhagavati Bhikshandehi, like this. Whatever is coming in this much is enough for today. नो गैदरिंग, हाँ, संभाल के रखो, इकट्ठा करके रखो, कल के लिए रखो, हाँ, सबसे बड़ा कल के लिए रखो. Everybody, billionaire or the you know the any poorest person, everybody has got one thing in mind. कल के लिए रखो, कल के लिए रखो सब कुछ. शॉपिंग भी, हाँ, शॉपिंग करते हैं, अच्छी सी साड़ी खरीदते हैं, अच्छा ड्रेस, क्यों? कल पहनूंगा, हाँ, कल आएगा, कल आए, कल के. So Karapatri doesn't do that. Karapatri आज मिला वही खाया. That is so even Bhiksha is also a Yagya. Bhiksha भी यज्ञ है. हाँ. How much to ask? Now in Yagya, we are talking about Yagya today. So many things are there. So we are going by bullet point. Once we thought one thing, second thing. So the third point here is the definition of Yagya is sacrifice. In English, it translates as a sacrifice. Yagya means sacrifice. A complete, a perfect word with a complete misunderstanding. That is the example. Sacrifice. So once upon a time, when somebody thought sacrifice means what? Slaughtering of animals and even human beings. 32 लक्षण जिसमें है, मतलब one who is a complete man, has to be killed. I went to the Mayan ruins in Mexico, near Tapachula. So I wanted to see what are Mayan ruins, the Mayan culture, and I wanted to get a little more study into it and understanding. So what happened? So when there were Mayan ruins, I asked them. There was a guy, Mexican guy, who was a guide I took for getting understand of the thing. So one of the procedure in Mayan culture was what? There will be a ceremony of fight, and all the people who are fighting with each other, I mean on the ground, the one who is winning all the people, he is the best person. 32 lakshana हमारे हिंदी में, हाँ. And what is to be done? They do a yagya and sacrifice that man. Is that a yagya? No. It is to see that the most powerful man who is coming out of the society should be killed, so that the king's throne is safe. हाँ, राजा की गद्दी सेफ रहनी चाहिए. जो कोई भी सबसे ज्यादा पावरफुल है, मार दो. अभी कैसे मारेंगे? वो तो मारेगा सामने. तो यज्ञ का प्रोसीजर बनाओ. हाँ, हम लोग ये वॉर किए हैं, ये स्पर्धा रखे हैं, और जो जीतेगा उसको सेक्रीफाइस, एंड देन ही विल नॉट डाई, ही विल नॉट बी रेडी टू डाई. व्हाई ए पर्सन विल से दैट आई वांट टू डाई. सो पुनर्जन्म, उसमें भी पुनर्जन्म है. नेक्स्ट जन्म, हायरार्की. इफ यू स्टडी मायन कल्चर यू विल अंडरस्टैंड इट. दिस इज नॉट ए study for Mayan culture, but it is a hierarchical society. And when people saw the hierarchical society, what happened? They thought, all the invaders who came to India, they thought that this is also a hierarchical society. And that is where they understood that our Varna Vyavastha is caste system. Varna Vyavastha is not hierarchical society. There is no up and down, there are no downtrodden, and there are no superiors. Everybody is same. But because they saw the other societies is a hierarchical societies, hierarchical societies, landlords, sir and madam. They will not say sir to a poor person. They will say sir only to a sir who is a landlord. Sir was a title given to the people by the queen. That is how the sir came. So hierarchical society. When you come from a hierarchical society and you go to other society, you think that they are also same. जो मेरे में है वो मुझे दूसरे में दिखेगा. So they saw us also as a hierarchical society, and they thought that you have got a caste system. Anyway, we will go to that. So yagya is sacrifice. Sacrifice. What is to be sacrificed? Sacrifice किसका? Completely misunderstood with animal killing. There is a lot of thing to say. So let us take a story for that also. हम लोग यज्ञ में नारियल डालते हैं. सब होम हवन करते हैं, बाद में नारियल लेते हैं. One coconut, and then everybody will hold, everybody will stand up. Okay, everybody stand up, and then we put the coconut in the fire. Why? नहीं, वो क्या हमारे पिताजी ने बोला. नहीं, that is okay, but why that coconut has come? So there is a story. And that's a very, very long story about Vishwamitra and Vasishtha. But we will come to a very a little section of it, and those who are interested can Google it. And Google will not give the complete thing, but at least to get introduced is not bad. Rather than going into Google and looking at useless things, it is better to Google and at least something over there which is connected to our culture. So what happened is that there was a scenario where it was a situation where Vishwamitra, Rajarshi Vishwamitra had and Brahmarshi, Vasishtha had an issue. One is Rajarshi, one is Brahmarshi. That is also a big discussion. But Rajarshi Vishwamitra had an issue with Vasishtha. And all that, all that turmoil, he created what is called as the antimatter at present. As of today, we call it as the antimatter. Matters and antimatters. Yeah. Just like I am here in the other world, there is exactly like me. In a very, very normal language, antimatter. So Vishwamitra created a second universe. ब्रह्मा का लेवल ले लिया उसने बोला मैं दूसरी यूनिवर्स पैदा करूंगा. हाँ, क्योंकि त्रिशंकु को स्वर्ग देना है, त्रिशंकु को स्वर्ग नहीं मिलेगा, मैं दूंगा. भगवान क्या स्वर्ग? अरे you see the amount of level of strength and the गर्व क्या है. विश्वामित्र ने कहा, हाँ, if Indra is not giving you the heaven, I will create another heaven for you and make it for you and you enjoy in that. हाँ, अरे क्या पावर है, क्या ताकत है. स्वर्ग नहीं दोगे, मैं नया स्वर्ग खड़ा करूंगा. हाँ, बहुत सारा जी. Very beautiful story. And even later on also, Yagya, same thing. His guru told him, तुम लोग को जो ज्ञान दिया है मुझे वापस दे दो because of some problem. He told okay, he puke. उसने अपना ज्ञान जो था वो उल्टी कर दिया. और वो ज्ञान भी इतना इंपॉर्टेंट था कि तीतर बन के लोग आए, बाकी के शिष्य और उसको खा गए. दैट इज तैतरीय उपनिषद. अरे क्या क्या स्टोरी है, ऐसी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी सुननी चाहिए. हाँ, सुपरमैन, स्पाइडरमैन ठीक है. वी शुड टीच दिस स्टोरीज टू अवर किड्स. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरीज. Anyway, we'll come back to the sacrifice because I will lose the track. So sacrifice, what is to be sacrificed? So when Vishwamitra made the Pratisrushti, antimatter, matters and anti, Pratisrushti banai. So in Pratisrushti, the representation of a human being is done by the coconut. Coconut ko choti hai. Coconut has a choti. Coconut has got two eyes, one mouth. When you decorate it, it looks like a human face. So Vishwamitra made a Pratisrushti, and in the Pratisrushti, the representation of a human being was coconut. See, imagine our sages have done so much hard work to get rid of the animal and human sacrifices. So it was told, जैसे वहाँ प्रतिसृष्टि है तो यहाँ आदमी को मारने के बदले, instead of killing a human being, you put the coconut in the havan, coconut in the yagya. And that is why coconut is representing the head of a human being. That is what is sacrifice. But still, what is to be sacrificed? Why coconut we have understood, but what is sacrifice? Sacrifice is our vices, हमारे अवगुण, हमारे limitations. Whatever limitations we have, whatever vices we have to sacrifice it. We have to understand working together. During the yagya, people work together. How to accommodate, how to be compassionate. Yagya is teaching us that. How to be compassionate. How to work together. How to learn to work together. That is what the yagya is. यज्ञ करके क्या मिलेगा? टुडे पीपल आर आस्किंग, यज्ञ करके क्या मिलता है तुमको? यज्ञ में क्या फायदा है? इतना सारा सब तुम आग में डाल देते हो, क्या यूज है? इट इज टीचिंग द सोसाइटी हाउ टू वर्क सेल्फलेसली, विच इज अटमोस्ट नीड ऑफ टुडे. इसलिए आज यज्ञ करना चाहिए. दैट इज वाई टुडे वी शुड बी डूइंग यज्ञ. इट इज नॉट टू पुट समथिंग इन द फायर ओनली, बट यू नीड ए मीन्स टू डू इट. हाउ टू एक्सप्लेन, how to do that, and that is why the yagya is there. इसके लिए यज्ञ करना चाहिए, यज्ञ करना ही चाहिए, मगर समझ के साथ. If we are doing only as a procedure, the development of human being will not happen. And that is why Yagya is necessary to be understood. What is the true meaning of Yagya? Sahayagya praja srushta. Very important word. Why did the God created Yagya along with the human being? Along with Sahayagya praja srushta. Purovacha prajapati. Very, very important sloka here. And then it will bring you the prosperity. Ishtaka Maduka, prosperity. Which prosperity it will bring? Internal prosperity of health, peace of mind. That is what is. See, when we are working together, you are not worried about who is going to be my enemy and when they are going to attack me. Because we are working together, we are all together. We are all going to take care of each other. That is the training. That is the training given by doing the yagya to the society, to the new generation. साथ में मिलके काम कैसे करेंगे? Yagya is the training for it. It's a training institute. That is what the yagya is. It's a training institute. It's a training procedure. So prosperity of health, peace of mind, and of course external prosperity. Social justice. प्रसाद में बोलते हैं, प्रसाद देते हैं जब भी कोई भी टाइम पर पूजा के बाद. Afterwards, when we are distributing prasad, do we ask how much is your salary? Oh, you got how much salary? 50,000. Okay, take 2 banana. How much salary? 100,000. Take 5 banana. Do we do that? We don't. Social justice, equality. All these things which are being told and talked too much in the part of this North America and the world, UN, everywhere. Social justice, compassion, equality, non-atrocity. All these words, how can it be resolved through which? Only by yagya. That is what the yagya is. Social justice. Environmental. अगर आपको यज्ञ में कुछ डालना है, आपको यज्ञ में वो गोबर डालना है ना, you have to put the cow dung as part of the yagya. So you need a cow. You don't eat cow. You tame cow. You have a cow as a pet. Environmental. Every problem can be resolved in the world today by doing a yagya. That is the important part. It's already 11 o'clock. We have to finish with the timeline. So maybe we will take a little bit of this next time. Until then, I wish everyone a good weekend and take care of yourself. There is lots of flu and everything going on because of the roller coaster weather around. So take care, and we will meet again next Saturday, 10 to 11 here at JDT temple. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah.